5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Slams and Bobs, my creepy friends. Yes, today is the day, 2 days before the new Thunderbirds series hits, that we're going to discuss it because I am a huge fan of Gerry Anderson and quite frankly, I'm deeply concerned about this series. I was totally on board with it, 100% on board with it, until about 2 weeks ago when I read its Wikipedia and then I slightly freaked out. ITV, I saw your Facebook post, okay, about saying no more strings, no more puppets. Well, quite frankly, we're all about those strings, no graphics. We love the strings, we love the puppets and the two. Have you ever noticed that Thunderbirds have two faces? All of Gerry Anderson's puppets have two face expressions. The other one is when they're concerned. I have been a fan of this since I was in single digits. My dad was one of the original watchers back in the 60s when this debuted. This is the 40th anniversary DVD set. I've had this in my life for probably at least 10 years now, and I have watched it many, many times. It's a very, very well loved. There's The Dark Knight Rises in that one because I changed the disc. The disc's actually in there, I've been watching it. It is my love, and I will always go back to it. One of my Christmas traditions is watching the Christmas episode of this. Reasons why I love this, it's pure nostalgia for me, you know. I grew up watching this in the kind of the early 90s and my dad introduced me to it. I think they were re-showing it on television and he got us involved mainly from his own excitement. I think that's the fun when you're an adult with children. You just revisit your own childhood and play with your child's toys. Trying to get my brother a Tracy Island one year. My dad went to every toy store apparently and had to buy one for... He got the very last one and I think he paid double the normal cost of it. And this was probably in about 93, 94. I love the creativity behind it. You know, Gerry Anderson, I feel, was a man very, very in front of his time. Certainly when you look at certain things, so like positions of women, for example, things that he would have Tintin do, things that he had Destiny Angel do in Captain Scarlet, weren't things that women would do, really. I mean, when you think about it, in the 60s when this was on, women were expected to have children and stay at home. I mean, all right, the position was changing, but he really kind of defied the odds and went, well, in the future, I think this is going to happen. A main reason for my concern about the new series is that Gerry Anderson, of course, God rest his soul, isn't with us anymore. I remember that day that happened. I actually shed a tear, and he has had no part in this series. Much like he had no part in the film from 2004, which is why it was so pants. Not around to sort of give this the okay or say what he feels. Sylvia obviously is. I do, however, know that there is apparently, and I see the trailer for it, a series, another puppet series for Thunderbirds that was made in about 05, and it got shelved by ITV. Now, ITV, if your graphic CGI-ridden Thunderbirds Argo sucks, I want to see that series. Give us that series. Please. You've already insulted the puppets. You kind of owe us one now, okay? My opinion. Do you feel that too? Always a comment box down here for you lot. Firstly, I'm going to talk about, before I get into this, is the Captain Scarlet remake. Because this was remade in kind of the late 2000s. And I can enjoy this very, very much, in large part because Gerry Anderson produced it, created it. Series created and produced by Gerry Anderson. I'm just reading the back. I can enjoy this for that reason. It was very, very loyal to this version. Yes, I have both. And it just brought it all up to date. I mean, the biggest transition was Lieutenant Green had a sex change and became a woman. But it was loyal, yet brought up to date in a CGI way that Gerry Anderson maintained its faithfulness. That makes no sense, but I'm saying it anyway. A lot of fans didn't receive it well. I personally did, but this one's remake, deeply concerned about. Bar the sex change on Lieutenant Green, I mean, they had the same Sky base, they had the same, I was going to say Skynet, but that's Terminator. The same base, just with all different kinds of electronics and stuff brought up to date, because let's face it, we're not running computer pads with flashing lights anymore, are we? The new version of this debuts 5 PM UK time Saturday evening, Easter Saturday, and initially when all the promos started coming about really at the start of the year, I looked at it and I was like, that actually doesn't look bad. Okay, I can probably get on board with this. And then they had the first shot of all 5 Tracy brothers and they were all called Dead-Eyed and Creepy, and I had to kind of agree a little bit. The most honest looking one was probably Scott Tracy, also was played by Shane Rimmer in the original. And then 2 weeks ago I was with my dad and we looked it up, and I'm going to share you from Wiki some facts about the new series and the cast. So my deepest concern, Jeff Tracy seems to be non-existent. His mum isn't. According to this, on the main cast, there's no Jeff Tracy. I'm afraid of that because Jeff Tracy is so crucial to this series. He's the one who sends them all out, who controls the operation, and you're not going to have him there. How can that be? Is Scott Tracy just going to control everything? Carano no longer exists. Carano is called Teo, is a woman, and he's head of security. And also there's no Tintin. Nah. So see, you edited there 2 crucial characters. 1 you sex changed. No. There also seems to be Colonel Casey, who I know is in this series in 1 episode. That may be the one where Tintin has to take him underwater. I'm not quite sure. Oh, and by the way, yes, I am wearing a Thunderbirds t-shirt. Do you like it? I've had it for a long time. How can Grandma Tracy be in it without Jeff Tracy? This is what's deeply confusing me. I'm really kind of concerned about that. And apparently there's someone in it called Great Aunt Sylvia, played by Sylvia Anderson, Gerry Anderson's ex-wife. I don't remember a Great Aunt Sylvia, do you? I know that's probably just like a little tribute to the original and to Gerry Anderson, but really? Hood doesn't seem to have his accent anymore. I've kind of seen a little bit, and he also seems to look really straight. Lady Penelope, when I first saw that, people were all saying Barbie doll, which I agree with. She's not wearing pink. Yeah, I don't like that. And people complain because the Rolls Royce flies. Well, quite frankly, the Rolls Royce was always going to fly, okay? We're in, like, what, the 21st, 22nd century now? I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know types. I'm a writer, I'm not a timekeeper. The Rolls Royce was always going to fly. I didn't mind it flying in the Human movie. We all know the Human movie sucks, don't get me wrong. But we all knew it was going to fly. If you thought it wasn't going to fly, it was always going to fly. I don't like the way she looks, and I also don't like the fact that they've given her a bloody dog. What is with that little chihuahua? It makes her look shallow. It makes her look like she wants to be Paris Hilton, and I don't like that. Me no like that. The Saturday's episode is a double episode, and it is called Ring of Fire Part 1 and 2, and I don't really have very much information on it yet. All I will say is that I am going to do this as a pre-show, and then I will come back with the post-show. I have to do it on Tuesday. I'm really sorry about that, but there's too much going on over Easter weekend for me to be able to record. And we will all discuss it as a friendship group. If you want to comment down here. If you're watching it on Saturday and you want to tell me what you think, do tell me, because I'm totally interested to connect with you fans, as I am a fan myself, and discuss. I'm also going to post my Instagram down here, because what I may do is do some photos of myself whilst watching and after watching, and maybe meme a few just for fun. So if you want to be part of that as well, here's my you're not having my Facebook, here's my Slams and Bobs Instagram down here. I will set up a Facebook page if anyone at all would like one, and we will all together enjoy or hate, because this time next week we're all going to be saying that was rubbish. They've destroyed Thunderbirds, I ain't happy, or we're all going to be sitting there going, actually, that was kind of refreshing. Alright, we prefer the original, but maybe we can accept it into our lives. I'm going for the first option right now. Are you looking forward to it? Be honest. If you don't like it, be honest, because I kind of have an idea. What we could do while this series is on is go through each individual episode of this series and discuss it as a group. Do you like that idea? I know we've probably watched these until the cows come home over and over again. We probably know it so bloody well that we know each part of the script. My favourite part of this one, episode 1, is Alan Tracy, because if you watch Alan Tracy, rather than his normal voice, he goes, "Okay, father," and it's this really super deep, hilarious. Me and my dad wet ourselves every time we watch that. I'm taking this to my dad's on Saturday because we're watching it because we're super fans. My brother takes the mickey out of us. We don't care. Because we're all about those strings, no graphics. That's going to be my little tagline for this whole thing. Enjoy Thunderbirds if you want. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel about it pre and post. And I will see you all for the finished opinions on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when it goes out. Bye, creeps.